So with our own van not being fixed in time, obviously it's still broken, we decided to hire a rental from Land Cruise in Chichester right at the last minute. I got to say they were absolutely excellent, super helpful, no pushy sales add-ons, which just gave us a sense of ease with them. Plus they were really competitively priced compared to other companies in our area. Prices for rentals aren't cheap at all. But when we got to Ironbridge the night before to rendezvous with my dad and my sister, we realised that I'd forgotten our tickets for Vanlife, which was incredibly stressful. To say I panicked is an understatement, knowing another 7-hour round trip to get them would completely wipe me out, and yeah, I wouldn't be able to attend. So I have to say a massive thank you to the Vanlife Festival team. They were so brilliant. They sorted out electronic tickets for us in the middle of the night before. And that one act of kindness from the organisers took away a huge amount of stress for us as a family, and also reduced the amount of potential health implications that it would have had for me personally. Long drives, they're not straightforward for us as a family. Unfortunately, fatigue doesn't bugger off when I need it to. And travelling with an autistic child, it means that we have to put in place extra planning. Everything has to be flexible, and we quite often need a backup plan for our backup plan, really. But seeing everyone's excitement, it made it worth it in the end. So when we eventually got there, we found our place and we unpacked, and the stress just started melting away. There was something incredibly comforting about being surrounded by people who just get it. They understand the appeal of tiny spaces, adventures, making memories, rather than physical possessions. And it was just wonderful. So, best parts of the festival. There were some amazing vans. The creativity never fails to amaze me and really inspire me to do something creative with our van, or potentially when we hopefully upsize in the future, do more with that as well. Some of the artwork on the vans was just absolutely stunning. Outside the vans as well, like the community was great. Nobody cared if you arrived in £100,000 motorhome or a self-build project. One of the lovely traders as well, they even gave my son a paracord bracelet that they just made as a gift, which he hasn't taken off since. He absolutely adores it. For us, one of the biggest wins of that time was just spending time together as a family. That quality time that at home, when we're all so busy trying to get so many things done and look after each other, it doesn't necessarily happen as easily as we'd like it to. The Victron area was really good as well. So Victron and companies who work with them, like Split Charge, BMS, Tiny Builds, they did some amazing talks around van electrics and off-grid power, which is so important for us. I need to be able to charge my wheelchair in my van. We need to be able to have electric for an air fryer for my son, because he is very selective about what foods he will and won't eat. We found that they were all so approachable and patient when we kept returning with a million questions. We were quite familiar faces as a group, I think, by the end of it. Plus, I somehow managed second place in a Victron quiz, despite my brain feeling like complete mashed potato. And won goodies for our next electric build in the van, which was awesome. The festival also had so much in the way of music. The Tom Dibb stage was by far my favourite. I love the acoustic music. It feels very sort of personal, and just the range of artists was excellent. It wasn't too crowded around there either, which made getting around nice and not too much in the way of sensory. Also, the pitch sizes. So they are such a good size. They meant that we were able to create this big U-shape area between our three vans, for just chilling and relaxing, and for the kids to play, so they weren't in anyone else's way, and we didn't feel like we were being hemmed in, sort of in tiny little spaces. So yeah, really loved that. I always want to show the good and the hard. Obviously, everything isn't always perfect. The heat was really rough. We were in the middle of a heat wave, so I felt pretty ill on some days, and there were moments where I had to stop completely and just go back to the van, and try and relax a bit. The crowds around the main stage in the evenings were really challenging, with my chair and just getting through. And as with all festivals, there were a few individuals who had too much to drink and caused a bit of a nuisance. But kudos to Vanlife security and the medics. They were on it. They dealt with any incidents really well, really quickly. And yeah, excellent. So Vanlife Festival was really important to us as a family. This year as a whole has been hard for us. Watching Tommy struggle so much with school, fighting for support for him, managing my health, and watching Dave carry so much as my unpaid carer, it has been tough. But this one weekend we got to focus on something else. We didn't have to worry about appointments or paperwork or just battling. It was all about making memories together. If you've ever had to fight through illness or disability, life chaos, a million and one things going on, so that you can make memories with the people you love, you'll understand exactly what I'm referring to. It's challenging, but it's worth it.